I've been with my company for about 6 years now, long enough to earn seniority over most of the other guards. I've gone through more training, more certifications, and honestly, I've seen almost everything this job can throw at you. Or at least I thought I had. A few months back, our company got a new contract. A massive government office complex located in, well, the middle of nowhere. I am serious. It is a 6-story building surrounded by a huge parking lot and a 10-foot metal fence topped with barbed wire. There is only one way in or out through a gate that connects to a narrow road about 3 miles from the main highway. Beyond that, nothing but dense woods and silence. Because of my seniority, I usually pick the best shifts, mornings or evenings with weekends free. But once we started losing guards from the overnight shift, especially on weekends, my supervisor asked if I could help cover until new hires came in. I needed the extra cash since I was preparing to move, so I agreed. Big mistake. The first couple of weekends were fine, calm, quiet, boring. But on the third weekend, everything changed. It was a stormy Saturday night, around 2 a.m. I was up in the control room on the top floor. That room overlooks the back parking lot through a small window and has 3 large monitors showing live feeds from every camera inside and outside the building. The rain was coming down in sheets. The wind was howling and I had the lights off. I was watching a movie on my phone, half playing my old Game Boy just to pass the time. I stood up to stretch and decided to grab an energy drink from the vending machine down the hall. But before I left, I peeked through the blinds at the storm outside. A flash of lightning lit up the trees, and for a split second I saw something, or someone, darting between them. I froze, staring out, waiting for another flash. When it came, the figure was gone. I told myself I was just tired. I went for my drink, chugged it on the way back, and sat down again. But when I glanced at the monitors, one of the outdoor cameras, the one facing the back parking lot, was dead. I looked out the window and saw the camera hanging by its wires, swaying in the wind. Probably the storm, I thought. I logged it and went back to my movie. Minutes later, an alert sound chimed. Someone had accessed a secured door using the keypad. I pulled up the access log. It was the back door. Whoever it was had entered the correct code. My heart sank. There was no scheduled access tonight, no staff, no guards. I picked up the landline to call the police. Dead. Checked my phone. No signal. I started walking down the hall to try for reception, and that's when the power cut out completely. The building went dark. I was close to the stairwell, so I decided to move quietly down toward the lobby and make a break for my truck. The only issue? The generator room, and whoever might have killed the power was in the basement. As I descended the stairs, I heard it. A door opening below me, followed by slow, heavy footsteps coming up. My training kicked in. I was armed, but my hands were shaking. I turned and started moving back up the stairs as quietly as I could, heading for the top floor where I knew there was a roof hatch. Just as I reached the final flight, my gun brushed against the railing. Clang. The footsteps stopped. Then they started running, fast. I sprinted up the rest of the way, threw open the door to create a distraction, and bolted for the ladder to the hatch. I climbed up just enough to hide. The intruder burst through the door, running into the hallway without looking up. I dropped down from the ladder, landed hard, and made a run for it. He realized it instantly and came charging after me. The echo of our footsteps bounced through the stairwell. Mine, frantic, his relentless. When I hit the lobby, I heard him trip and crash behind me. I didn't stop to check. I slammed through the front doors, sprinted into the storm, jumped into my truck and hit the ignition. As I threw it in drive, headlights flashed over the figure running out of the building. All black clothing, mask, hood, sprinting straight for me. I floored it. My tires screeched as I tore down that side road. I didn't stop until I got cell service, called the police, and led them back to the site. We searched everything. Nothing. But they found something in the stairwell. An unregistered loaded handgun. To this day, no one knows why he was there or what he wanted. Maybe it was something in that government building, or maybe it was just me in the wrong place at the wrong time. Either way, I never worked another overnight there again. Years later, I was working another security job, this time at a medium-sized corporate building in New Jersey. Most nights were the same. quiet, dull, uneventful, until one night that would burn itself into my memory forever. It was just after midnight. The last few employees had gone home, leaving me alone in the lobby with nothing but the hum of the monitors. I was scanning the feeds when I noticed something moving in the parking garage. Someone, weaving slowly between the parked cars. No one should have been there. Access was restricted, and all cleaning crews were long gone. The person was wearing a long, dark coat, too big for him, and moved in this strange, deliberate way like he was searching for something. It made my skin crawl. I called my supervisor, who told me to stay put, but my gut told me to check it out. So I grabbed my flashlight and took the elevator down. The silence in that garage was suffocating. I called out, but no response. Nothing. I checked every corner and no sign of anyone. I went back upstairs, sat down, and looked at the feed again. He was back. Same spot, same posture. I felt sick. I'd just been there. He couldn't have slipped past me unless he'd been watching me the whole time. For 20 minutes, I watched him wander toward the stairwell before disappearing off camera. I checked every other feed. Nothing. It was like he'd vanished. Then the elevator dinged. It opened. Empty. But there were wet footprints leading out onto the lobby floor, barefoot. I froze. Every hallway suddenly felt like it was hiding him. I called for backup but decided to patrol anyway. 5th floor. Every door locked. Except one. It was open just a crack. I peeked inside, empty. But when I stepped back into the hallway, I heard it. Wet, heavy footsteps behind me. I turned and saw him. That same long coat moving toward me fast, but not running. I bolted, hitting the stairwell door and slamming it behind me. His footsteps followed right to the door, then stopped. By the time backup arrived, I was shaking. We swept the whole building, no one, no trace. And when we checked the cameras, the footage was corrupted. The time where he appeared was gone, completely erased. I quit that job soon after. I still can't park in an empty garage without my chest tightening, because every time I think about that night, I swear I can still hear those wet footsteps following me. The last story happened recently, just a few days ago actually. It was my first night training as a mobile security guard, the kind who drives from site to site responding to alarms. My supervisor that night was a calm, friendly guy showing me the ropes. Around 1:15 a.m., we arrived at a new client site, a small medical clinic and pharmacy. It was supposed to be a routine perimeter check. But the moment we pulled in, we knew something was off. The underground parking gate was wide open, and the front door had been smashed in. My supervisor frowned. That's weird. If someone broke in, the alarm should have gone off. We went inside carefully, and that's when we noticed something else. The elevator was moving on its own, floors lighting up one by one until it stopped at the top level. My stomach turned. We took the elevator up to the 4th floor, flashlights ready. It was pitch dark, every shadow feeling wrong. My supervisor told me to stick close. The place was silent, until we heard footsteps in the stairwell, heading down. We rushed to the door, ready to follow. But the footsteps stopped. Total silence. My supervisor grabbed the radio and said, "Dispatch, we need immediate backup. Someone's inside with us, possibly armed." Dispatch told us to stay put. We waited, tense, sweating, hearts pounding. 15 minutes later, the front door creaked open. "Security!" shouted our senior supervisor as he entered. We regrouped and searched every floor. Nothing. Not a single person. But as we reached the 3rd floor, we heard running. Someone bolting out the front door. By the time we made it downstairs, whoever it was had vanished into the night. To this day, no one knows how they got in, or where they hid while we searched the entire building. Maybe it was a break-in, maybe something else. All I know is this weekend I've got another shift at that same clinic, and this time, I'll be alone.